Hello students, welcome to Learner's Planet. In today's session, I'm going to start with the new chapter that is conservation of plants and animals. The word conservation, it means the preservation and management. Now since it is related to plants and animals, definitely the chapter is related to the preservation and management of different types of plants and animals in our surrounding area. Now you know this thing that the major part of these organisms or major or most of the species of such plants and animals, they are found in the forest, right? So if the forests are protected and well managed, then definitely we are able to preserve the plants and animals also. So now let's see that what are these forests or how they are conserved or protected and managed, right? So as to conserve the wildlife, even which includes both plants as well as the animals. So now let's see what is there in the chapter. So these forests, they basically comprise an area, right, where the diverse and complex ecosystems are found. And these diverse or complex ecosystem, all these include the trees, shrubs, wild plants, animals, then some river bodies or the water bodies, which is serving as a natural habitat for different type of living organisms. And since they are serving as this habitat, you can find that, excuse me, so they are serving as the biodiversity hotspot, right? Bios means life and diversity means a varied form. So these systems, the forest, it is serving as a hotspot, the region where many varied forms of living organisms are found. And of course, these living forms, they are microbes or plants and animals. So from all origin, the many different species are found in the forest. You know what this biodiversity exactly means? Let us discuss. So as I said that it refers to the existence of variety of living organisms in a particular area, right? So it is not merely related to their existence. It is basically related to their interrelationship and their relationship with the environment also. Because simply the existence is not the nature of any living organism. They are able to communicate with each other as well as with the abiotic component. And when such type of interaction is possible, then only the survival becomes possible. And then only the balance is maintained between the different components of our environment. Now, when we are discussing about this term biodiversity and forest, there are some important terms that you must know. You know what these terms are? That is species. Um, you know what exactly this species means? Basically, it is a group of organisms. Fine. You know which type of organisms? Those specific ones which are able to communicate with each other, which are able to perpetuate with each other, and moreover and most important thing, they are able to interbreed with each other. When the two group of organisms, they are reproducing with each other, they are able to produce the new individuals by interacting with each other, then that particular organism is said to belong to the same species. So you must have seen in your surrounding many similar organisms are there, but we cannot say that they are able to reproduce together, isn't it? So the one group which is able to reproduce, that is known as the species. Next term is the habitat, and you must be familiar with this term. Habitat, it exactly means the area where the organisms are living, or I can say that it is a natural environment where the living organisms are able to live easily. The next term is the ecosystem. Well, this ecosystem, I can say it is an area where the abiotic and the biotic, that is non-living and the living things, they interact with each other so as to maintain a balance. So I can say it is comprised of different types of animals, plants, microorganisms, then some abiotic component in their surrounding. So that's such an area where this interaction is going on, that is known as the ecosystem, right? For example, if it is a pond ecosystem, then you can understand that the fishes or these plants over there, then water, all these are forming the pond ecosystem. The next important term is the extinct species. So basically this extinct species means the particular group of organisms which existed in the past, which is no more present now, right? That means it has been eliminated from our environment. And of course, for this elimination, many different factors they are responsible. Fine. So the next one is the endangered species. Now this endangered species is the one which is at the border from where it may become extinct, or we can say that the organism which is now facing some problems or the danger for their survival, and they are about to become extinct, or we can say there are just rare number of organisms are found of these species. Such organisms are known as the endangered species. So why these species are facing such type of threat, and how we can protect these things, that we are going to study later on. For now, just remember that these species are those whose number is getting diminished day by day, right? Because of various factors. The next term is the endemic species. Endemic species is the specific one which is found in a particular local area. You must be knowing that all organisms are not found everywhere. They are specifically found in a particular region. So those local species are known as the endemic species. Further, the next one is the flora and fauna. So flora is actually related to the plants which are growing in a particular natural habitat, and the fauna is they are the organisms which are from animal origin, right? So these are some important terms that we must know while studying about the forest and the biodiversity. Now let's understand that what is conservation, and why this conservation is required. See, as I said, I told you earlier that conservation refers to the preservation and careful management of plant and animal species in order to prevent their extinction. India is having a sixth position on the list of 12 mega biodiversity countries in the world. What is this mega biodiversity? Or you can say a zone of mega biodiversity. It is a region where maximum number of species are found. So in India, there are many regions where these mega diverse organisms are found. Uh, it uh, it is more commonly found in the northeast India and the western Ghats, right? So I can say in overall in the world there are 13 biodiversity hotspots, out of which two major ones are found in India, and they are the northeast India and the western Ghats, right? So but due to modernization, these hotspots, they are actually getting diminished. Our country, or India, it has more than half of the world's wild tigers, 65% of Asian elephants, 85% of one-horned rhinoceros, then 100% of Asian lions are found here. But the numbers, they are getting depleted now. And you know what is the reason behind that? The major cause for this is the deforestation. And why this deforestation is done, all this we have to discuss. Well, this deforestation is defined as the loss of forest habitat, right? Or in simple terms, I can say that it is a cutting down of trees at a large scale from the natural habitat. So, of course, it is a human activity, and such process is known as the deforestation. Now, the point is why this deforestation is done. So the main reason behind that is the modernization. Population is increasing day by day, right? And to fulfill their basic requirement, this deforestation is to be done. It is done for this only, right? So what are such requirements which are for which such destruction is continuously taking place? So the very first point is the requirement for the wood. Wood is an essential part of our daily life, right? Directly or indirectly we are dependent upon the wood, isn't it? So to fulfill this basic need, the deforestation is taking place. Besides this, the process of urbanization, settling down of towns or the cities, for that purpose, of course, deforestation is done. Then for the agriculture purposes, these areas they are converted forests, they are converted into the cultivated land for the crop production. Then for the industrial purpose, for industries, these lands, I'm sorry, the forests are cut down, and then over there, the either the industries are set up directly, or the another thing is the specific product which is required for by the industry, that specific type of plants are grown over there. Now these things, although they are giving rise to the plants over there, but the diversity is damaged. And when the diversity is damaged, of course the natural balance is going to be disturbed. Further, the another reason for the deforestation is the transportation. For the construction of roads, railways, and other tracks to connect two different parts of the country or the area, the deforestation is commonly done. Besides this, for the construction of dams, again the deforestation is done. So these are some common reasons. Of course, there are specific others also, but these are some important ones. Now, overall, when the deforestation is done, what type of effects can you imagine? Just think of it. The very first effect of deforestation is the soil erosion. I hope you understand that what is the soil erosion. In simple terms, I can say that the washing away of the topsoil is known as the soil erosion. Now, why this washing away of soil is taking place? It happens when the loosening of soil is there, right? So generally, if the natural calamities or natural processes are considered, then one of the reason for this is the flood, isn't it? So that can drain away the upper topsoil, but that is the natural process. We cannot control that. It is even caused by the deforestation, because when the plants are cut down, definitely the deep roots are also removed, isn't it? And such type of destruction is leading to the loosening of the soil, and thus the soil erosion occurs. Besides this, what will happen if this erosion is taking place? This soil which is having the different your chemicals also, they are going to be added into the plant bodies, and further it can lead to the water pollution, isn't it? And of course the direct effect is the destruction of that land area in terms of organisms, it can be plant, animal, or anything, right? Besides that, that particular land area is converted into the desert, isn't it? So the next effect of deforestation is the desertification. Such type of soil in the desert, of course, it is having low nutrients. The fertility is actually damaged, isn't it? Besides this, the humus is not present now. So this leads to the less fertile land where the easily the plants are not growing. Further, it leads to the destruction of biodiversity, and this I have discussed earlier also. Further, the important point is it leads to the global warming. You know, in our surrounding, the temperature, overall temperature of our planet is increasing. You can you can discuss with your grandparents or your parents that what was the temperature, what were the climatic conditions when they were at your age. They will tell you that how much the climate has changed now. So why this increase in temperature is taking place? The reason is that, see, normally what happens, the carbon dioxide, right, and the other gases which are present in the air, they are responsible for maintaining the temperature of our atmosphere. The greenhouse effect, you must have heard about this term, right? The incoming radiations of the sun, they enter into our atmosphere, right? And they are reflected back. Now these reflected back radiations, they are trapped within our environment. Some of it is removed, it is released out, but some of it is trapped within the atmosphere. And this trapped heat basically maintains the temperature of our planet. Right. Now, when the deforestation is done, you know what will happen? The level of carbon dioxide will increase a lot. Normally, CO2 is used by plants for photosynthesis, but when the deforestation is done, there are no plants, or there are very less plants to use this carbon dioxide. So as a result, what will happen? More radiations are absorbed in our atmosphere, due to which the overall temperature will increase tremendously. And when there is a temperature changes, then definitely it is going to affect the rainfall pattern also. So this will lead to the reduced rainfall. Besides this, it also leads to the floods and the landslides, and that is because of the loosening of soil only, right? So these are some common effects of deforestation which should be controlled. Some solutions should be taken out so as to control these effects of the deforestation. And you know what are these solutions? Some are summarized here, like afforestation, reforestation, then for production of eco parks, then overgrazing should be avoided. Forest fire, a natural cause behind this. Some steps should be taken so as to prevent the forest fire. And more importantly, the awareness should be spread in the local communities about the sustainable development and the conservation of natural resources, that why these preventions are actually required, why conservation is required. Until unless people don't know about this thing, they will they will destruct our surroundings in the same way forever. So this knowledge is actually the most important way so as to control the our planet, right? Now here I must tell you one thing, that you know what is the difference between the afforestation and the reforestation. Afforestation is a process of planting trees in a area, in a vacant area, we can say, right? The land which is not used for different purposes, so that wasteland, it can be converted into the plantation or the planted area. And if the process is or the plantation is done in the region where the previous destruction has been done, right? So that is known as the reforestation. And you know, when such processes are followed, definitely we are able to conserve our wildlife, we are able to conserve the plants and the animals. So now I will show you that how specifically steps could be taken so as to conserve the plants and the animals. So students, conservation of forest, that is the conservation of plants, right? These plants can be actually conserved, or they can be preserved, first of all by stopping the deforestation, right? The preventions or some laws should be implemented so as to control the deforestation process. Besides this, the next point is the afforestation or the reforestation, right? The land which has already it has been um, uh, destructed due to deforestation, now it should be properly cultivated. So this afforestation, right, basically it means plantation of trees for the human welfare and maintaining the biodiversity. Generally, what people are doing, they are either following the agricultural practices on the decultivated lands, or they are setting up the area where the industrial product could be grown. So while doing this process, while this afforestation, the steps should be taken to consider these human welfare activities, as well as consider the maintenance of the biodiversity. This is possible by some different measures, like social environmental forestry. Then it is possible by agroforestry and the urban forestry. Now let us see that what exactly these three things means. Well, the social and environmental forestry, it involves the growing of the trees for firewood, fodder, agricultural implements, and for the benefits of the rural as well as the tribal community, without disturbing the natural habitat of the organisms. Further, the next type is the agroforestry, and it is an absolute commercial forestry which is developed to fulfill the need of various forest-based industries. It is done on the fallow land or the free grazing lands. And the another one is the urban forestry, which involves the growing of ornamental plants along with the roads, vacant lands, and common parts of the urban areas. So overall, in this afforestation process, different ways are followed so as to maintain the biodiversity of the plants as well as the organisms. Now it depends that in which area it is performed, so that the different species of the plants can be maintained over there. But definitely some laws should be laid by the government so as to control the act of the deforestation and the type of plants growing in the particular forest. Well, the next is the conservation of wildlife. While establishing the forest, only plants are not the forms which has to be conserved. Proper measures should be taken so as to conserve the wildlife as well. And for this, the imposition of laws to protect these wildlife forms is necessary. And that's why I'm continuously saying the role of government is very important in such type of conservation process. Besides this, there should be the establishment of the natural habitat, right? Proper protection should be given to these living organisms, right? And of course, the natural place, the natural habitat should be established where they can feel free and they can grow over there. Right. So such establishments include the national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, bird sanctuaries, then bioreserves, and so on. So what are all these and how they are maintained? This we are going to study in the next session. Till then, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Goodbye.